What is u?
3x minus 2x squared.
You talk really loud.
You
so
don't
I
have
can
to.
hear you.
Yeah, it'll pick you up. You don't have to yell.
That's funny.
No, what's wrong with those little
Oh my goodness, please. I didn't watch
I'll
the
talk really softly. So
Okay, so then u prime is what?
3 minus 4x to that. 4x.
Right? Okay. All right. So what now?
Then you get F of U.
F of U, and then F
I
prime
don't
of
like
U.
how it's F of U. Why can't we say F of U?
You
Just
sound
said
like
F,
a
we just said
female.
F of U.
It's F U.
That feels funny.
Okay, why is it that? Sorry.
Because this is u.
Oh, okay.
I just
do
put a little space there.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it okay? Is it okay for us to do the parentheses with the?
Sure.
Wow.
Sorry, I forgot.
Okay, so then what I've been doing is just writing dy dx because I'm just letting y equal, God bless you, that function, right? Okay, so dy dx equals
3 U squared.
X times U.
times u prime. And then you just fill it in, right? God bless you.
Don't you have to?
Oh, no, where'd that come from?
Yeah, what's that?
That's like the
You
whole
use the
derivative.
root of a fu.
So y equals fu.
That's where that's part of the first part of
Okay.
I think
So
never
then
mind.
dy
The
dx,
derivative would be
the
what?
derivative of y with respect to x, not respect to u.
And then she
So we've got to do it, so it's the derivative of that times the derivative of u with respect to x.
Oh, that was
She's
just.
just
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I missed the fact that she's.
well, maybe we shouldn't miss it.
Okay? Shh. Okay, don't be silly. Don't be silly. This is math. No silliness in math. So what do we got? So 3
3x
times.
minus 2x squared.
Square.
C squared. Times 3 minus 4x.
Are you trying to write really softly? I like noticed you're like.
It's so loud. I mean, it is so loud.
You gotta show it.
Clunk, clunk, clunk,
No, you
clunk.
can't be afraid.
You will
Yeah,
hear.
just do it.
Just
Yeah,
B.
that's free
Okay, so what does this equal?
Just call him
Okay, AP exam, stop and move on. AP exam, free response, stop and move on. Miss Norris is test, free response, keep going.
Hey, but you left
Multiple
it like
choice, keep going.
But you
that. Yeah, you left it like that.
What was I thinking?
So you,
Well, I don't
well,
know,
you
so-
actually just put
So
it together. Stop
I
and
think
move
you
on.
were-
Yeah, you have to stop and move on because the answer keeps.
Don't lie to me.
Leave it like
Didn't I do this though?
No, I looked
you
at.
did.
Yes, you
I
did.
checked my.
Yes, you did that, but isn't that the same thing? Can we stop and move on?
Yeah. Okay, I'll let you. I was gonna do it
Well,
as
that's what you
9
did. So.
9 minus 12, but it's fine.
So
Okay,
next
never
one.
mind. Never mind. Leave it. Move on.
How would you like it on the
Leave it and move on.
Leave it. Move on.
Wait, Miss Norris. So
But if it was negative exponent, I would expect you to take care of that. Yes. What?
Never mind.
Is that what you were gonna ask?
No.
What's the matter?
I was just gonna say, could we just do 9 minus 12x and
Yes.
then leave it?
Of course.
Alright,
Wait a second.
What?
So we get to leave.
cool. Just stop and move on.
Oh, what? You just put that one in front? Just put
Okay,
that-
I'm sorry, but I really don't understand the 3u squared.
The 3 what?
U squared.
I could
What's the
just stand in
derivative
front
of
this
u
and
cubed?
eyeball it.
U 2
I didn't hear you.
squared.
3u.
3u
U
squared.
Okay. Thanks.
You're being recorded.
And then
Okay.
she put you.
And then times u
This
prime
is
because
time. Yeah, I got
because
it.
we're not taking it with respect to u, we're taking it with respect to x. So.
What did you say? That was rude.
Nicole, I mean Sophia.
Everything
Are you gonna do that now? You're missing out.
Okay, children.
I love you.
The recording heard you say that. I hope you feel guilty.
Okay. All right. So what is this? I would rewrite this first. Rewrite this. So it's what?
X squared minus 1 is equal to
2/3. Because the squared is the numerator of the rational exponent. The cube root is the denominator of the rational exponent.
And then like
Right? Okay. So u equals what? And du equals what? Which du is just u prime.
2x.
Right? X minus du dx, x minus du. And so that equals 2x. And that's with respect to x. That's the derivative of u with respect to x, u dx.
How did we get to the top one? We took the cube root thing away to the 1/3
Mhm.
power and then multiply by 2.
No.
I'll kill you, Grant.
Alright, what now? We have that on the recording, so
That's
10
what
million.
you-
if something happens.
He said he would.
Hey, now
like
we all know.
16 times.
Okay, so y equals fu,
Wow.
Have you
What?
one?
Equals. You to the 2/3.
you do 2/3. You do not have to keep writing this. Hopefully you're gonna get to where you can see the chain rule without having to go through all of these steps, right? So, and I'll do one, we'll walk through one and I'll show you, okay? But you can write it, this is just a way to be organized. So then y prime, dy dx,
2/3 u to the negative 1/3.
yeah, and look, if you're looking at my other solutions, you gotta make sure that I am getting my exponents and stuff right, because I did find a couple errors and I reviewed it.
Times u prime.
I fixed them, but there may still be.
So do we have to write it out like that?
No, you can go straight to doing the derivative.
No, I mean like I'm talking about like I just do fu prime and then I just write 2/3 u to the negative 1/3. I don't add that part. So that's
Right,
wrong.
is when you're taking the derivative with respect to x. No, I'm not gonna grade this. This is us just getting organized, right? What I'm gonna grade is what comes here. I'm gonna go looking for y prime dy dx. This equals, right, something like that. And then you're gonna write 2/3 x squared minus 1 to the negative 1/3 times 2x. And that's the way I do the chain rule now. I've done it enough, right? And so hopefully you can get to that where you don't have to do any of this here and you're just writing that, okay? But if you got it organized, don't fret. That's fine. Yes, ma'am.
So you'd want us to simplify that out and put 2/3 x squared minus 1 under cube root in a fraction?
Yeah, so it's going to be
Or
4,
is that really weird?
4x over 3 times the cube root.
So you want us to do the
X
cube root
squared
and
minus
not
1.
like to the 1/3?
You could leave it as to the 1/3. Just be careful that you don't write it in the denominator as negative 1/3.
And how many to 4?
2 times.
Multiply across.
2 times 2x.
So make it the cube root.
Okay. So this on the AP exam is fine. I prefer that you go here on my test. And it's the algebra that makes chain rule difficult. Right? Now when we get into the ones that have multiple chains, okay, the calculus can become hard there too. But it's really the algebra. Okay. Alright, questions?
Maybe. Let's go to non-negotiable.
You're not done?
I'm not done.
Okay. Oh, that's all the room I have. I don't know where my little button is for me to be able to change colors.
Don't you have to like?
It's on the right side. That's on the left.
Click
It
the
was
pen
over
thing.
here.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I thought you like clicked
It
that.
was over here.
So, no
Yeah, because
voice
this is not like
headphones.
because this brown.
Cool. It's cool. Or you.
No.
View.
So.
Oh my god.
Okay. Because I just can't stand it all being the same color.
Also, this is a gross color. Yeah.
It's so
Yeah, it's like
brown.
poopy.
Well, I didn't take off the whole side.
Wow.
I think you pressed that.
That one? Right, that's what you meant, right? Great. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, get our pen back, and we want to rewrite this, because this would be a nice quotient rule, but I want to use chain rule because the instructions told you to. So oops,
Wow.
just d, no, dx. And that's going to be 7 times 2t minus 3 -2, right?
But isn't
To
it
do chain rule, yeah.
But I thought you could just do 7 over
isn't it d over dt?
Yes, I have a typo. Typo. This should be T.
So if it was ever like that on the test,
You're gonna
we said-
fix it. You're gonna ask me and you're gonna fix it.
Yeah,
We're all
you
gonna get a point for disrupting the test.
Awesome.
Wait, but if we didn't ask, would we just put cannot do because we just put 0 or whatever?
I'll write a smiley face and then I'll put a 0. It is. You can do it. See, that's where it would be wrong. You can do it. What would it have been?
0.
0.
What about
What
the
she
0?
would do is she'd make a smiley face out of your 0. She's like, yeah, let's just do it.
Okay, so what is you?
2t minus 3.
So what is you prime?
2.
2.
Wow.
So y equals fu. I love this part of the class. Equals what?
7 times u.
I wish it wasn't funny every time
Isn't
you
it?
said it, but it is. Like I wish I didn't laugh, but I do.
Okay. Excuse me. So now y prime is what? dy dx. Right, 7 times -2. You can go ahead and do -14. I just, for the people who need to see all the steps, right? Which sometimes is me. Times, right? So that's going to be -14 times 2. So we're going to get, yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is wrong in the notes.
Yeah, it is.
What did I write?
7 times -2 times 2t minus 3 raised to the -3rd times 2.
No, but that would be right because then once you multiply all the 2's, it would be.
But did I simplify or did I write it as -28?
You added
You
a
didn't.
-20.
Oh, I thought, I felt like I had done it as 7. Anyway,
So
okay.
you
No,
want
I
us,
think it's good.
you want us to fix the negative, right? Like-
Yes, please. Right, I want you to be mature mathematicians. Again, on the AP exam free response, you can leave it there, but on Miss Norris's test, I expect you to get rid of that negative. Okay. Unless I tell you that you do not have to simplify, and I might. If it's something that's going to be gross or take a long time. Okay, y'all good with these? Are you feeling all right?
I do D subdivisions.
D. D. All right. So what is U here? This is d dx of sine x squared. Right? That squared goes with the sine, not with the x. Correct? Okay. So U is sine. So du is what? Cosine x. Right?
Okay, so.
Yeah. So this is what I do. Y prime equals 2 sine x, that's the derivative of the outside, times cosine x. So when I'm doing it, I just go ahead and do it without, not writing it using all that. So, if you can see it, do it. If not, keep organizing. Okay? Do you see where everything came from? This is f prime of u, and this is u prime. What? It is the double angle identity if it was sine of 2u, sine of 2x equals, yeah, but not with derivatives.
So would you just leave the 2 sine x cosine?
Yeah, 2 sine x cosine x. It could be that on multiple choice it would then say sine 2x, but that really is a trig question then and not a calculus question, right? And I know that you're supposed to know that, and you do need to know your double angle identities. Oh, I forgot to do the warm-ups. We'll do those tomorrow. All right.
Wait.
Yeah, that's it. We're done.
Can you scroll back up to the 0?
See? So we want to contrast D, where we got 2 sine x cosine x, with E, which is extremely similar, except that this is the sine of x squared. So what is U?
X squared.
And so U prime is 2x. Okay? So now y prime is the derivative of the outside. What's the outside function? Sine. So we're going to go ahead and start with cosine. That is the derivative of fu times the derivative of u. And you'll just rewrite that as 2x cosine x squared. Vastly different, right? So it is very important for you to make sure that you've got the exponents on the trig functions with where they belong. Okay? Yay! Easy peasy, right?
So what's the final answer?
The final answer is 2x cosine x squared. What questions do you have so far?
I like this.
Yeah, Jingle is pretty fun, right? Pretty fun.
Danielle. This is not what.
Let's go sit down. Raphael, knock on that door for me. Just do it. It's enough.
That was like just.
We're okay. I almost got killed over here.
Okay,
We were like fuming.
here we go. Here comes the really fun part.
That's when.
Okay.
Suppose
I don't want to suppose anything. I just
that f and g are differentiable functions and have the values given below. So when x is 2, f of x is negative 8, f prime of x is 4, g of x is 6, and g prime of x is 11. And when x is 3, 5, 2, 1, negative 3. Everybody know what everything stands for?
Sure.
Okay, so please find A. Find h prime of 3 if h of x equals f of 2g of x. God bless you.
Well,
I don't know. Work it out. I gotta work it out. I don't know. So write out the derivative first. Don't fill in numbers yet. Write out the derivative, right? So what is h prime of x going to be? Derivative of the outside with the inside still in it times 2 times g prime of x. Derivative of the inside. Right? And the derivative of 2g, now 2gx is the inside, and the derivative of 2gx is 2g prime x, right? Are you guys okay with that, or do we need to do it with u's? Good? And now you just plug in your 3's, right? So f prime of 2 times g of 3 times 2 times g prime of 3. So it's f prime of 2 times, what is g of 3? 1 times 2, and what is g prime of 3? So this is f prime of 2. Uh-oh, did I do this one right?
Oh my god.
I think I did it as a 3 instead of a 2. I think I added f prime of 2 is 4 times negative 6, which is negative 24. I don't remember if that's right.
Yeah, you got it right.
Okay. I keep having these flashbacks. Oh wait, I think I did that as a 3. Does that make sense? No?
No.
Alright, I'll let you copy and then tell me where you're lost. Okay, so where are you lost?
I got lost where you set it
Okay, so look, let U be what? What is U in this problem?
up. 2G.
So then U prime is what?
2G prime.
Okay, so then the derivative is, so then what we've got is y equals fu, which is what? And be careful with the f, so I can call this, something else besides fu. Let's call this, no, that's right, fu.
It's F prime of U.
Well, we're just f, right, and so,
Oh,
right, sorry, and so y prime is
We
F
want to see.
prime of u, right? Who? Hey. But does that make a little more sense? And so if it's dy dx, if it's this, then that's going to be times u prime, right? And fill things in, right? Do you see that? Are we supposed to do this today? Okay. Y'all start on B, okay? Okay. Okay. Can I write on That's okay, I got it. But everything else is blank,
And then make sure they sign all property.
Maybe you can just.
And then leave everything intact.
And then, do I bring it back to you or do I hold on to it?
Or you can do the whole thing. Okay. You want to change the
Okay, rewrite it first, right?
Yep.
GFX squared. The negative. GFX
Okay, so what is U?
X.
Nope, what is U?
GFX.
U of X. And so U prime is
G prime X.
just G prime of X. Sorry for the mess up there. Okay, alright, so what now?
G of X to the negative, wait, negative 2 times G of X to the negative 3.
Right, because the derivative of this, so fu is u to the negative 2. Right? Alright, so dy dx. So we're going to do negative 2 u to the negative what?
3.
Be careful because we have a tendency to want to make that be negative 1. It's negative 3. That's the derivative, that's f prime, right? Times u prime, which is g prime, right? Okay? And we said u was g of x. Come on. Alright, so now we need to plug it in. So it's what we're finding is dy dx when x equals 2. Right, g of 2 to the negative 3 times g prime of 2. And now you can just plug all your numbers in. pull it up.
Would you leave that for the test?
They'll accept a numeric answer, so you could. You could definitely leave it as that,
Oh, good.
right?
That's what I did.
Or you can write it as that, which equals,
So do you want us to do
So
that?
can we leave it as the first one?
again, you can leave it as that. I would prefer you go at least to there. 6 to the third I know is, but really, can you do that? Don't make me give this to you as a multiple choice. Right, so that you gotta do it on a non-calculator. You can do 6 cubed. Easy peasy. I did it. You can do it. No. 6 squared times 6. 36 times 6. Put it to pencil, paper, and work it out, right? Easy. Huh? Let's do purples.
I didn't get that one.
This one?
Yeah, because I saw you wrote 2F times F prime. I didn't get where that came from.
Because it's chain and chain. Chain inside of a chain. Okay, so let's work it out. So first of all, let's rewrite this. So this is actually going to be d dx of f squared plus g squared to the 1/2. Right? What is u?
Yeah.
Oops. Squared. Okay. I am going to find the derivative of u with respect to x. No, x.
Well, we don't know.
Right? So this is f squared of x. So I got to take the derivative of that with respect to x. So it's going to be let's imagine for a moment that we actually knew what f was. Let's pretend that f is x squared minus 5. So then f squared would be what? X squared minus 5 squared. So when I take the derivative, if y equals f squared, when I take y prime with respect to x, isn't that going to be a chain? Do you see that? That's going to be 2 times that times
2x.
right? Do you see that that's a chain? So it's a chain inside of a chain.
Wow.
Chain.
2F times F prime.
Yeah, so when I come up here, this is going to be 2f times f prime.
Is it because it's F? Because like someone.
Because f is a function and we're squaring that function, so it's a chain.
Would you do so that plus
Plus 2g
times
g prime.
What are you shaking your head for? I was right.
Yes. Okay? Does that make sense? Who have I lost for a brief moment in time? Okay? Where did I
Lost me
lose
for a
you?
long moment.
Okay, so let me go back to this. Does this make sense? Where I just made up, I just said I'm just going to let f be this. Okay? That's not really the function, but I'm just going to pretend that f is that. Do you agree then that f squared is this? Right there? Are you okay, mind way? Okay? So then the derivative of this is going to be a chain. 2 times the inside, the derivative of the outside with the inside still in it, times the derivative of the inside. Do you see that? Okay, which means that whatever, I don't really know what f is. So it means that whatever f is, the derivative of f squared is 2 times f times f prime. Does that help? Does that help?
Yeah.
Does that help?
Because you're taking the derivative of it and then multiplying by its derivative.
Yes.
I mean, not
Right?
really,
So
I-
derivative of the outside times the inside.
I understand it.
Right? Because this is something squared. So we take the derivative of the squared times the derivative of the something. Okay? I know. I understand completely.
Understood.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you get 2f times f prime, and you start to like plug it in and stuff, how do you plug in an x if there's no x?
But it is. We've just used shorthand.
Okay, so there-
Because this really is f of x
Alright.
squared. And this is g of x squared.
so you just add it.
Because we were told up here, hang on a second. We were told right here that f and g are functions of x. Okay?
If you apply the derivative with respect to f, you could do f the same way, but what would you do with g?
That would be 0, because we would treat g as constant. Right? Yeah, if it was d df, then it would be 2f plus 0. But it's all because it's with respect to x. So we have to take the derivative of the f squared, and then times the derivative of f itself with respect to x. All right, everybody's good? All right. So now we just got to put it all together. Okay, so y prime is going to be, dy dx is going to be the derivative of the outside, which is the 1/2, right?
The 1/2.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna do?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Squared plus g squared.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and write it like this. Is that okay? That's the derivative of the outside with the inside still in it. What's the exponent? Oh, my goodness gracious. No, that one. Minus 1/2
You don't follow me?
times.
Times that long.
2f f prime plus 2g t prime.
Now we're gonna plug
Can we plug numbers straight into this?
Sure. Sure, you can go ahead and put numbers. So equals 1/2. So what is f at 3?
5.
And then square.
So that'd be 25 plus 1, right?
What?
F is 5, but it's squared.
2 is 5 plus f squared, so it's 5 squared.
See, F of 3 is 5. Squared is 25.
Oh,
And then G of 3 is 1. 1 squared? Sorry, I
That's
didn't have that too.
X.
Sorry. Because it said when X is 3?
Why did you?
I didn't mean to
How
say
do I
f
look?
2, it's x
Why
equals
is it
3.
f of 3?
Because it says that X equals 3. Yeah, Jordan accidentally said 2.
I didn't mean to say
So
2.
you said 2 and I wrote them.
Okay. Times. Let that be a lesson to you. 2 times what?
I was doing it right.
2 times 5
times 2
plus 2 times
1 times
equals. Now this is negative 1/2. Can I go ahead and put that on the bottom?
yes.
So that's going to be 1 over 2 square root of 26 times, what's all that? 26? Negative 6, 14?
14.
Times 14, and those will simplify, so 7 over square root of 26.
You like to know?
Did I get it right? Oh, I left the, no, that's right.
That's right, God.
You just like did it in more steps on this.
Yeah.
often are we have a chain within a chain?
Is there ever a chain within a chain within a chain?
Don't even talk about that. Wait, don't get rid of that.
Sometimes our functions will be composed of more than two functions. Sorry. Got it?
I'm not done.
Good. Sometimes our function will be composed of more than two functions, especially common with trig functions. Okay? So we may have the case of k of x equals f of g of h of x. F of g of h of x, which is the composition of three functions. And we could have more than three. Okay? So we got multiple chains. So if k equals f of g of h of x, then the derivative of k of x with respect to x is going to be f prime with everything in it, derivative of the really big outside, times the derivative of the inside outside,
I understand this a lot better now.
times the derivative of the inside. Inside.
When you first told us this, I was totally.
Yes.
Oh, so this is the one you showed.
This was the really big long one.
And you have to do the derivative of every part.
It probably does look good.
Okay, so we've got sine squared 3 of x. If we rewrite that, that's sine 3 of x squared, quantity squared. So what is the outside? It is the square, right? Here. And then the next inside is the sine, and then the inside is the 3x. Okay? And if you, go ahead.
Because we did the sine 6x yesterday, and I was like, that was only 2, but it's because it wasn't square.
Correct. So u prime is going to be what? 2 of something, right? And v prime is going to be what? Cosine of something. And w prime is going to be what? 3. And this is u is v squared. V is sine of w. I don't know what it is. Okay, so the derivative then of y is going to be the derivative of the big outside with everything inside. So it's going to be 2 with everything inside it still. To the 1 power. Right? That's our u prime. Sorry. Where you lost? Where did I lose you? First, do you see all the functions in there?
Mm-hmm.
So you're okay with that? And I just took the derivatives of each of those pieces. So we are taking the derivative of the biggest outside, which is the square. 2 times to the 1, and then I just went ahead and wrote that in there. You okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Times the derivative of the middle inside. Times the derivative of the inside. And so that's just going to be 6.
I like this chart.
You don't like the chart?
Just
For a long time.
No, I like the
I
chart.
like the
I just don't understand.
What don't you understand?
Can we go back
Yeah.
You just start
from
over.
the? I'm good where we wrote the. Can we go back to the last box and start?
This box?
Yes.
I'm not. I don't.
I'll pick up this.
Wait, which box do you have? Okay.
The one second to last. Yeah.
You just use little
Turning my
functions
head
that
to look at the back.
Okay. So the chain is going to be u prime with v and w still in it times v prime with w still in it times w prime. Does that help? No? You understand it with f and g and h?
Yeah, that I like.
Look, if I have sine of 2x, how do I take that derivative? Well, what's u? 2x. So what is u prime? 2, and the derivative of this would be cosine 2x times 2, because that's fu, and that's u prime.
Yeah.
You good with that? Okay, so let's start over. All right, here we go. Okay, it's okay. We're going to get you through this. I'm going to let u be sine 3x. Do you see that? So then fu is u squared. Are you okay with that?
Why is
Okay.
Yeah? You good with that?
So
The inside of this.
Right? So
Oh,
this is
okay.
stop it. This is u, and so this is u squared. Are we okay with that? Yeah. You okay with that?
Are you just like reworking it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So then f prime of u, or df, I'm just going to say f prime of u for right now. Right? That's going to be 2u to the 1 power. But I want it with respect to x. So I have to take the derivative of this with respect to x, or du dx. Because all of this is with respect to x, right? Yeah? Okay, so if I do that, then this, I need to figure out what du dx is. Well, u, we said, was sine 3x.
So then let's retake the.
And the derivative of this, well, that's another chain. Do you see that? So I'm going to let w, I'm going to let w be 3x, and w prime would be 3, so du would be f prime of w times w prime. Are you okay with that? Chain inside of a chain? Are you good with this? Are you
I
still?
think so.
Okay. Are you with me? You're good? Okay. So then this would be f prime, right? So we're going to do this cosine 3x times 3. Because that's the derivative of this chain. Because it's cosine. So you're just linking them all together.
Oh, okay.
So what we have is, so f prime of u, and I probably shouldn't have used f over there, is 2u times the derivative of u, but the derivative of u, we worked it all out here, ends up being cosine 3x times 3. And if I rewrite that in there, then I end up with 2 sine 3x times cosine 3x times 3. This is the derivative right there of that one.
When you do the u prime part, and that's where you have to do the second chain, you just, like, can you forget about the first part for a minute?
Yeah.
And just pretend it's one chain
Yeah.
and then do it. And
Yeah.
then you just add that into
Yes.
the.
Okay? Alright, so we're okay?
Yeah.
And so then that would simplify to 6 times sine 3x cosine 3x. Alright, so let's work one all the way through. Okay, so let's rewrite this one. How does this rewrite? Just leave yourself space and I can do that. How does this rewrite?
1 minus.
To the 1/2, right? I just didn't leave myself enough room to write it in the box. Okay, so y equals that. So how many functions do I have? How many am I composing? Well, I have u equals something to the 1/2. Right? W equals 1 minus the tan of something. Yep. It is not 1 minus the tan of something. It is 1 minus something squared. right?
Okay. See, that's a little confusing.
Because it's the square root of something being squared. So we could actually rewrite this as 1 minus tan 4x squared to the 1/2, right? Those parentheses really help us get to the meat of the functions. Do you see that? And so then, oh, that should have been UV. I don't know my alphabet. Let's just make this one be V. What the heck? So V will be tan something. And then Z, just for fun, would be 4x. Okay? Sorry, I skipped V. You call it what it is. Okay? Alright, so derivatives.
So 1/2.
Derivative of the first times the derivative. So y prime, Danielle, is u prime times w prime times v prime times z prime. Right? All with respect to x. It's just this derivative times this derivative times this derivative times this derivative. Because they're all embedded. Whereas if it had been a product, it would have been this derivative times all of them plus, the next derivative times all of them plus, right? So that's the difference between them. Okay, so y prime equals, what is this derivative?
1/2 to the negative 1/2.
It's 1/2 to the negative 1/2. Can I just write it like this right now?
Yeah.
Can I do that? And I'll fill in a minute. Will that help you? Times, now what's the derivative of y prime? I mean, what's the derivative of w?
-2.
-2 to
1, right? Because it's technically 0 minus.
0 minus
So I'm just going to write it as,
negative
right?
3.
Oh.
This is
Was
secant
2.
squared.
Wait, is that not 1 minus on W?
What's the derivative of 1? No, what's the derivative of 1? 0. Which is different than nothing. It's different than nothing. Times. Four.
0 oranges.
No, you have 0 oranges. Yeah, but this is the slope. What's the slope? If you say nothing, you're telling me there is no slope. What is the slope of 1?
Plus 0.
0. Not nothing.
What does that exponent say?
Squared? Negative 1/2?
All of w is because the derivative of 1 is 0, so then it'd be 2 times the negative understood 1 in front of the parentheses. So it's the 2 times
Yes.
negative.
Okay, so 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 times 1/2 is negative 4. And now let's fill everything in. So this is going to be everything. 1 minus tan squared 4x to the negative 1/2. Right? That's everything. What? There are actually people who will work these backwards. They'll work chain rules starting from the inside out. And so if that would make more sense to you to do, oh, that's 4 times secant squared 4x times, feel free, right? Doesn't matter what order because it's multiplication. Times what? Now we've already taken care of all of our constants. So now it's just times what?
No, it should be taken care of.
I've already taken care of that.
Oh.
So we're just
Tan
plugging in
4x.
here. So this would be tan 4x. No, not squared. Times,
Oh, okay.
right, and we already took care of this. You do whatever you need to simplify, right? You simplify in an order that makes more sense to you.
This is just.
All right, we'll leave it there. Yes.
Can we scroll down? Yeah, can we scroll this above?
Get it?
We kind of didn't rewrite this one very well.
I get it something.
This was the answer here.
Like, oh,
You see it? Raina, you see it?
Hang on.
That was it. Daniel, yes?
No, it'd be 6 with them.
I feel
Oh,
like
it's-
yeah, it's
you
6
left off
because you
that
have a
3.
3 at the end.
I meant 6.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Ha ha ha. 6. Thank you.
Who do you want us to put?
You know how on the top one we did like the derivative and then times the regular one for all of them?
Yes?
On the bottom we just did the derivative always.
But we just didn't plug it back in. We could have.
This is your.
What is that?
1 minus tan squared 4x, right? And then we could have written tan 4x, right? And then we would have written 4x. We just didn't write them until down here. So this would have been there, right? Which is what we did up here. It was just going to take up the whole screen. Do you see it, or do I need to rewrite it? So we're still doing this to you know, we're still doing that whole thing. All right, we got to cover these. We got to get to these. So I will post a picture of this Daniel for you as well as a video. Okay, so that you can look at those. All right, so let's talk about these real quick. This is a combo. So what I have here is x squared times. Anytime you say times, you're going to take the product rule. So this is a product rule. I got to make my pen a little separate. Yes, because I will post them, and I'll do it as pictures as well as, I'll do it as PDF as well as then the video. Okay, so it's a product. So for our product, u equals x squared, so u prime equals what? 2x. And then v equals what?
1 minus x squared.
To the 1/2, which is a chain.
So we can do the chain
Oh, too
first.
many
then-
letters.
So you're going to do a chain inside of a product. Okay, so this is why I'm saying sometimes you need to kind of get to where you can do some of them, not necessarily having to be super duper organized, like writing it out, but just whatever letters you want to use, right, wherever you want to do it. So this is going to be the derivative of the outside with the inside still in it, times the derivative of the inside. And then you will want to simplify this. Okay?
So that
Yeah.
would be 5.
And so then you crisscross applesauce. Right? So y prime, f prime equals x squared times plus
2x.
you're done.
So we don't have to do the math.
Do what?
You don't want us to
I mean, you could get a common denominator and go from there.
but we can move like that.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so this is, somebody read this B to me out loud. Square root of something, right? So this is a chain, right? This is x squared sine x to the 1/2. It is a chain because it's the square root of, right? Chain.
Wait, so how do you
Did you still do the product with them?
is it by looking at the first thing?
Yeah, you just start reading it to yourself, right? So U is what?
X squared times
X squared what?
times.
X squared what? Times product inside of our chain. This was a chain inside of our product. This is a product inside of our chain.
I forgot what product rule was. I'm
Same,
been lost
like,
since.
Yesterday when I quiz, I was like, what is this foreign concept?
Derivative of the first times second plus derivative of the second times first. Right?
No.
So now we got to product rule this.
To get you. prime.
Yep. So f prime of x is going to be
So it'd be
1/2 u times u prime. So we need u prime. U prime. I got to use my product.
Would it be
Right. So I mean let's just call it v is x squared. So v prime is 2x. I'm off the page there, 2x. Sorry. And then w would be sine x. So w prime is cosine. I'm off the page. Okay. So I won't be able to draw my crisscross applesauce. You just gotta know it. So equals 1/2. What is u?
X squared sine minus
Times.
so x squared times cosine x plus sine x times. Is that 2x?
It's a negative 1/2 power, isn't it?
Isn't
Sorry, yes, negative 1/2, yes. I left it off there. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, Daniel.
Oh, it's plus.
Right? Product is plus.
I get this one, but I didn't get the other thing.
What, Raina?
I got the first one like before you had to explain it.
This
And
one?
then the second one is killing me. Yeah.
What's killing you?
I don't know.
Is the product rule killing you, or is the?
I think it's doing the chain and then the product.
Yeah.
rules and the chain.
Okay, so I understood these.
So I mean, do it in whatever order, right? You see, there's a product. Go ahead and work it out, and then put it all in the chain.
Just I didn't understand the
Okay. So then this is x squared cosine x plus 2x sine x all over 2 times the square root of x squared sine x. Okay? No? Where? Where?
Can you change that though? This is the one.
Okay, so
Making that like 2x squared sine of x to the 1/2 power.
I'm sorry, say again? Yes, you could have it in parentheses to 1/2 power.
never mind. I got you.
Yeah, right? This could have been 2 and then
Yeah, I
back to
didn't
1/2.
follow where you got the square root.
Yeah, 1/2, 1/2. Okay, here we go. What's this one? X divided by. So it's quotient.
What about?
Oh, that's gonna be long.
Change. Right? You know what that is, right? Chain of fools? Calculus fools. Okay, so u equals x, u prime equals. Oh my gosh, I took you way too long.
I was able to.
V equals, write it without that radical, write it as an exponent. So V prime is,
Wait a second. 1/3. The B.
1/3
X squared plus 4.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
Negative 2/3.
where are you lost? Danielle's saying hold on and
I just
put
needed to
yourself-
process it. And you guys
Okay.
are just going.
Okay, stop. Where are you lost?
I'm not lost. I just.
I don't know.
You see that that's a quotient.
I mean, I'm kind of iffy on the chain rule to begin with. Then you do that, and I'm just like.
So,
Slow down.
so the quotient is the not, yeah, welcome to calculus.
Well, I'm stupid, so.
No, the quotient is, that's the numerator, that's the denominator, and the denominator is x squared plus 4 to the 1/3, which is a chain,
Okay, wait.
because it's something to the 1/3.
Right.
right? The cube root of, so it's a chain. You good with that?
V prime would be multiplied by 2x.
So wait, V prime, shouldn't there be
The derivative of v.
Yeah.
Are you having a hard time seeing the chain?
I guess.
a like this sort of?
Yeah.
I mean, do you see that this is the same thing as that? And do you see that this is something inside? Because I can't distribute that 1/3, so I have to take the
This would be
derivative.
win-win.
Right.
We should do core one.
So u is this,
Right.
You could kill me and get
and so this is u to the 1/3, right? Okay, so then what we did was 1/3 to and negative 2/3 with that inside it times 2x, derivative of the inside. Right? Okay, y'all good with the derivative of v?
So then.
So that's the chain rule.
That's the chain rule. This is the chain rule. We haven't started the quotient
Wait,
rule.
no, wait, I need to ask a question.
Okay, yes, I'm just rewriting this. Yes,
Okay, so I understand the first part of V prime,
yes.
and then it's
Is
times
it still-
2x.
Is this still negative?
Is that
Because
because you
it's-
took the derivative
Is
of
it
the
still
inside,
negative in the
right?
denominator?
You took the
Yes. That is not negative.
so you took
All right.
Can we finish this one real quick?
Yes.
So
Okay,
then you do
so now-
u, the
It's
prime
u prime,
and v
u prime. So
minus
just
v prime.
Like, so it's cube
Let
root
me
of x
just-
squared plus
so it's 1 times
cube root of x squared plus
minus
2x over 3 times x squared plus 4.
over.
So it would be like 2x.
Is it
Yeah.
x
2x
squared
squared. 3 square root.
x squared plus 4
Oh yeah,
to
that.
1/3
Squared.
squared. Fine. Can we just leave it like that because I don't think.
can.
Could you do the? Could you bring the third?
You can
definitely live now.
2x squared on the top.
Yeah.
I can just leave it like that. Don't we have?
Well, we don't like having.
I don't mind it though.
I don't mind
Complex,
it.
no.
It would be squared.
But I've already worked that out, so I'll, it's posted up there. Y'all need to look at it because multiple choice question will not be left like this.
Would it be squared?
What?
That 2x would it be squared?
Yo, I think you.
It's squared. I wrote squared. You're crazy. This is a chain with a quotient in it. The notes are up there. I'll post them, and you need to look at how to do that and get that written in.
How do you know looking at it?
Because it is this to the 4th. This is a chain, right? So you would say, oh, well, this is just u to the 4th. And so u is 3x minus 1 over x squared plus 3. That's a quotient, right? Okay? So that's what makes these difficult, is looking and finding the chains and seeing them inside of other rules. Yes?
So we have to find u prime using calculation. This is the last bit of
Here, yes. Right? So the chain, right, so the derivative is going to be 4u cubed times the derivative of this. And this is u prime in the quotient. Okay? Alright, I will post a worksheet for you to work on. We will have a quiz tomorrow. I will post solutions. We have a quiz tomorrow over chain rule, and we are doing implicit tomorrow.
Wait, so that's the answer?
Will you take that?
Yeah, not me, but
Oh,
Because I had it like that and I don't want
Miss
to.
North.
Do you want us to put your own fractions?
no, I don't care. You can leave it with the fractional
That's like
exponents.
my
What I
don't care
don't like
about
about this is
chill
the
class after
compound
this.
fraction. So you would need to get a common denominator
Yeah.
here and drop that denominator down here,
That's
which I have worked out, and I'll get that picture up
We
here
need
so
to
you
do
can
that.
see it.
Work-based learning.
Oh.
Period. I don't even have to be here.
Sure.
It's the best.
Or
You know the worst class period? It's lit.
Yeah?
Because lit is a worthless subject.
True.
I don't believe in it.
Yeah. We already know how to read. We already know
I know how to read. Since kindergarten.
Me too. I kind of have to.
Just let me sit in front of you and tell you the story.
Oh my gosh, I really like this now.